Well, it's been quite a while since I've done any recording of video here. Uh, the other day I fixed up my little AT3. It had a leaky gas tank and a couple of other things. One of the turn signal bulbs was burned out and the headlight didn't work. And I drained the forks and put in new oil in that. So today our project is this little guy. This is a CT. As you can see here, it's got a broken tail light. I think I have one of those. It hasn't run since last year. The battery's totally dead, and I can't figure out a way to charge it because none of my chargers that do automatic 6 or 12 volt switching will actually switch to 6 volts. That's probably because the battery is totally dead. But what else we got here? We'll try and get her going. Looks like we have a boot problem here. So we'll have to get that on. And I'll do the forks on this one too. The fork oil, I'll drain it and we'll start over. It's pretty dirty. Tires on this one aren't the best, but I think I'll leave them. This one's good. The back one's a little worn, but it's okay for putting around the farm here. I don't have a plate on this anyway, and no title. Well, let's get with it. Alright, so now I have got the lens replaced here, but I didn't have another red one, which was over there was red. So I ended up putting two amber ones on. I still have to redo the wires for the tail lights. I did manage to drain the oil out of the forks and put in new fresh oil. So I know exactly what's in there. So that's done. I figured out how to get the battery charged, so that should be charged up and ready to go now. I guess the next thing to do will be the wiring for the rear tail lights. I think everything's coming from here is hooked up. It's here. In here. I think this is all hooked up to the switch up front. We got the green one coming out, which I believe is right. Turn signal. We'll have to work on this to get it out so you can get at it. There it is. A brown one and a green one. Fuse is okay. I think everything else there is hooked up. So all I need to do is put some extra wire and a proper connector on this. I'm trying to think. I think left is brown, green is right. We'll find out. We'll get her done. Well, I was going to make up some new cables to extend the rear turn signals, but when I came over to my box of connectors, the one here that you see is empty is the one I need. Now I can use this is basically the same connector here. It goes with these for a triple, but I guess I can do that. I'll go ahead and use them out of here. I've just ordered a bunch of them from the supplier that I use, so I'll replace these when I get those back. And we'll get on with repairing this. All right, so we're going to make two extensions, one green, one brown. That's the wrong green, but it'll work. I don't know which is which. And then these are my connectors. 3.9 or 3.5 millimeter male connector is what they are. And I just ordered 100 of them, so I should be in good shape. So the next thing we need to do is find my wire stripper, which is here. And we strip back one end of these. Oh, maybe 5 millimeters. I'm not sure. All right. Now, we slide the little rubber thing on there. We take this and see if we can find some needle nose. Hopefully I've got some needle nose here. Alright, there's two sections to crimp over. I usually put it in so the inside one, which is the shorter tabs, crimp that over. Alright, there's the green one. Now the outside one here, I don't know if you can even see that, but out here, this will crimp over the insulation. But as I've said many times, I don't trust crimp connections. So what we're going to do is solder these. Let's see if we can get it flat down here. Well, there's no end to this wire. How come? Well, I guess there is now. Alright, so we heat this up. Put just a little solder in there to make sure the heat transfer goes well. When we see the solder flow between the wire and the connector, then we know we're good. And this one's being stubborn. I'm not sure it flowed. There it went. There. That's a good solid connection. I guess I could turn my hat around and probably in your way. Okay. Now we'll do the green one. Just lay that there. And same process. right, we see the solder flow. Those are never going to come apart. So then, what we got here, if you can see it, are these tabs out here, and we'll crimp them over the insulation of the wire. Sometimes they don't want to be crimped. I'm not sure why. Well, all right, we'll go with the other one. All right, that's on there. And we'll slide this up just so it covers that part. And there we have it, the perfect connector. All right, now we're going to get some different kind of just butt connectors to connect these to the wires that are already on the turn signals. All right, so I'm going to strip off, probably a centimeter here. And these should be shortened. I think this is probably too long. Let me go take a look, see how much I need of each one. All right, so I just went and checked the chart to make sure I was right. Left should be brown. The left turn signal, the wire should be brown. It's actually supposed to be dark brown. And the right is a dark green. So I need the right one to be a little bit longer. It doesn't have as much space here. So I'm going to give them both probably 6 inches and go from there. All right, I'm going to crimp these first. I got this special little crimping tool here. And then once I get them together, get both ends in them, I'll solder them. Okay. Yeah. All right. This is what I'm using. Just this little guy. Because what I'm going to do is put heat shrink over it. Okay, put that in there, just where I want it. Poke the wire in. And give it a squeeze. See, it still don't hold. Do I have any other? Okay, so now we'll go over and we'll strip the other one. old soldering iron. Get it over there where I can use it. Hopefully, it probably will go about that far. Alright, maybe this will reach. Maybe not. Alright. Well, in case like that, grab an Alright, I think those are pretty solid now. So, next thing is some heat shrink. So, for heat shrink, what do I use? This is a special heat shrink. It's actually filled with glue. So it glues itself to the connection. And we'll put this right on over here. Then we'll go see if we can locate the heat gun. Got one someplace. And see if we can shrink those down a little bit. Heat gun, where are you, heat gun? Screw here was turned only a half a turn out from touching the bottom. So I set that to 1.5. I cleaned the spark plug. I checked the compression. Compression's 115 pounds, which is pretty doggone good, actually. What else did I do? I replaced a couple of screws. I found a place to buy regular JIS screws. So I replaced those. I checked that there was oil in the oil tank, which there is. What else did I do? Let me check my list here. Oh, I took the cover off the air cleaner and checked that the air cleaner is clean and new, and it is. Oh, I had to adjust the float level in the carburetor. If I remember correctly, last year I left this sitting without turning the petcock off, and it just filled the whole engine full of gas. So I did, like I said, I reset the float level on there. I went over to the other side and took the screw out on the oil pump that you can bleed it with to make sure I was getting oil from the oil tank up here, and I was. I replaced the screws holding the oil pump cover. They were Torx, so I replaced those with JIS screws. And things I still need to do are to clean and lubricate and adjust the brakes, make sure all the electrics are working, and adjust the idle mixture after getting the engine running. I already checked the oil and the transmission. It's both clean and up to where it should be. Verify the clutch operation once we get it going. clean and adjust. I think it's pretty good, but a little bit loose. The chain and the sprockets don't look too bad for an old rat bike. And I put new clips on the gas line. I didn't have any more of the correct size gas line, so I just clipped off the ends of it where it was a little mangled. It was way too long anyway. So the gas line is all set, and hopefully we'll be in good shape. So I guess right now what I'll do is get to work on the brakes. I'm not sure about the front brake. All the cables seem to be in place. I won't take those out. I'll wait until I get it running to see if my tack and speedo are working. Apparently, let's see. I think that's it for now. I'll be getting to work on the brakes. Well, as I was going about checking the brakes here, as you can see, they don't return like they're supposed to. The spring is in place, but you'll notice it's missing a washer and a split pin or cotter key, however you want to say it, depending on which side of the pond you're on. So first we're going to need to pull this all the way off. Take a wire brush on that post and lube it up good. And I went over to my parts supply, and lo and behold, here we are. Correct part number. I had 2 of them in stock. So I'll get on with that. Alright, first what we're going to try and do is get this out, if we can do it. Well, it slipped. Let's see here. And we got it. So we'll take this apart. Put it all safely down here. See if we can get this pin out. Uh-oh. It may not come out. Let me see. Alright, that's out. You know, I got a new one of those over there too. I found that when I was looking for the other part. And now we'll have to work this off. The spring is still on it. I could take that off. It might make it easier, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to use both hands on this. Probably be easier. I'll be back. Alright, so I got it off. And it fought me all the way. I sanded down the shaft that it mounts to, but it's still all jimmied up around the outside once you get past that outside edge. I tried grinding it down with my Dremel, but it didn't want to come down enough, so I used the persuader and got it off. And once I get it back on and put some grease in it, it should be fine. Well, it's another day. We're back on the CT2. The Eastwood rust encapsulator has taken care of the brake lever, so we'll go ahead and get that installed. Alright, we'll We'll start with a little bit of grease on here. I think this brush is not worth the shit anymore, but oh well. What I didn't find was the split pin, cotter key, but we'll find one. All right. Oh, I need the spring. You know what? I think I'm going to take this over and clean it up a little bit on the wire brush. All right, let's see. How does this go in there? I think like that. Then this goes on, and it's not going to go on real easy, but it will go on because I have a persuader over here. All right, there's that. Now we just bring this down if we can. Let's see here. That seems to move fairly freely. All right, we'll go on there a little bit more. Perfect. I think this needs to be adjusted a little bit. Let's put this. I don't know that I need this on there, but we'll put a little bit of grease on it. There, I think we got it. There it goes. And it's in. That was exciting, wasn't it? Okay. Let's see what we did with the well, I need another split pin for that too. Okay. So we need to, first of all, we had this little guy in stock, so we're going to put it on. Assume it's the right one. Perfect. Now we got to go find our cotter pin assortment. All right, well, I'm not sure, but this might be the right one for that. Yep, that'll work just fine. Well, we're going to have a little bit of trouble here. Let's do it this way. Bend that, and bend that. All right. All right, we got that one. Let's see if we can find one that'll work down here. I think that may do it. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Bend that guy over. know what that was. All right. Look at that. Beautiful. It's traveling too far, but it's beautiful. All right, so we need to tighten this up a little bit back here, I think. Uh-oh. There it goes. Let's see, how's that? That could go just a little bit more, I think. Oh, I just noticed there's no squeeze bolt in there. Bolt's missing out of here. That doesn't seem to want to go on any further. So we'll go find us a bolt for that. All right. Get that in. And we're going to need to unsolder these connections. If we can, with this little soldering iron. And then again, I may have to get the old soldering gun out. We'll see. All right, we're going to see if we can clean these connectors up a little bit. I don't know if we can or not. I think that cleaned it up pretty well. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let's see if we can clean this one up. Let's see if we can get this out of the way. All right, let's squeeze this back together a little bit. Let's take our newly found switch. Oh, we need to clean these too. They're not looking too good. Yeah, I think I can get in there. That might be okay. All right, so we're gonna need to squeeze this a little more. That's in there. That's in there. All right, let's run the spring down. And it's going to need to be shortened. think. Run that in there. Tighten that up. And put that in there. And it works. As long as it doesn't come out, I think we'll be okay. Let's make sure that it's not shorted all the time. We're going to need to get into the headlight and do some electric work. It was at this point that I started chasing a problem that wasn't really a problem. I spent 2 days trying to trace down why my headlight wouldn't work, and in fact on this particular bike the headlight won't work unless the engine's running. It doesn't run off of the battery at all, it runs off of a lighting coil on the starter plate. So I finally came to my senses and replaced the bulb, the headlight bulb, which was bad. I could see that it was broken, and I got it all back together now.